What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a highly requested video for the past almost year, and honestly it is second runner-up to my breast augmentation update, which I finally recorded I think last month. So if you want to know anything about my procedure or the surgery day or my update, I'll go ahead and link those videos in my description box down below so you can check those out. But for this video, this is gonna be my BBL update, which literally y'all have been asking every single day in my DMs. I get emails, I get messages, like literally on every single platform. So I am finally going to be filming this video to answer any questions that you guys may have about getting a Brazilian, I was almost gonna say a breast butt lift. I meant a Brazilian butt lift. So if you have been following my journey, then you will know that I got a BBL last June. So it hasn't even been a year yet. I still do feel tenderness and some pain here and there, but for the most part, I'm pretty recovered. And if you guys want to watch that journey of me going down to Mexico, then go ahead and check that out before you watch this, because that'll answer any questions when it comes to like recovery or like the actual process of it. Now that we are almost a year post-op, I figured I would do a Q&A and answer any questions that you guys may have about my BBL. So I went ahead and put a question poll on my Instagram story. How long after surgery were you able to sit? Okay, so every doctor recommends different time periods on how long you shouldn't sit after surgery. I think my doctor recommended like anywhere from 1 to 2 months. I honestly don't hold me to that because I don't remember. Just because I did so much research and every single case is different. I've even heard stories of girls saying that they didn't sit for only a week, and I'm like, what? Because I didn't sit for 4 months, you guys. 4 freaking months. And I did start using the BBL pillow. It's a rectangle shaped pillow which you prop up under your thighs, and all the weight is resting on your thighs versus your butt. And the reason why they recommend not to sit is not because you're gonna squish it or flatten it. I mean, I guess it could in the long run, but the whole reason is to preserve the fat cells. And if you're sitting on it, it basically cuts off circulation and the blood flow, which obviously means that you're losing some of the fat that is transferred in that area because it's not constantly circulating. So doctors recommend, if you are gonna be sitting after a period of time, to make it in short increments so that you're not cutting off blood circulation and you're not killing your fat cells. Like, that's basically it. So yeah, people did think I'm crazy for not sitting for 4 months, but obviously after going through all of that, I wanted to preserve as much fat cells as possible and do the best I can to just avoid sitting. And trust me, it was the hardest thing in the freaking world. And I don't know if there's anyone else out there that was that persistent, I guess, on keeping that routine of not sitting. There were so many creative ways that I had to rest my legs and my body without sitting. I would be on my knees a lot. I would be standing a lot. I would be editing videos for like 8 hours just standing. And then I would rest my knee on the chair and kind of put one leg up and one leg down. And it was a lot. But you know what? It was worth it in the end. I feel like my size and the fat transferred looks the same as when I first got it done. I mean, obviously it could have gone down a little bit because that is normal and expected, but I don't physically notice it. And that's a good thing. But I will say, with that being said, I feel like I definitely want to do a second surgery, and I don't even have enough fat to do that. So I don't know when I'll be able to do that. I've heard from so many girls that the second round is more to perfect their BBL. So it's not that the first one was bad. I mean, that could be in many cases, but in my case, it's more so just to fill and plump the areas that didn't really plump the first time, if that makes sense. So I'm very, very, very happy with my results, but I just wish I had maybe a little extra fat to make the tip of my butt like more of like a shelf. Everybody says I'm crazy for wanting another one, and they all say that it looks good, but obviously we all have our insecurities, and there's some things that I see that people don't see that I want that they wouldn't care for. Does that make sense? I know I'm just rambling at this point, but long story short, I really want to get a second one just to perfect, not to necessarily make it bigger or anything else, but just to perfect certain areas. And that's it. Okay, a very valid question, which I did answer in my last video, but I'll answer it again. Was it hard to use the bathroom afterwards? Laughing emoji. Honestly, that is something that I was worried about myself. And surprisingly, it is not hard at all because like, you don't really sit. Like, you don't have to sit. Surprisingly, like it didn't even affect me at all. So you just have to get it done to know what I'm talking about, I guess. The question that I get asked the most is how much I paid. And if I can remember correctly, I feel like it was around $7,000. I don't remember exactly how much because I just never remember my totals. But don't quote me on that because everybody's price is different. Obviously, it's a year later. The prices could be completely different now. And also it depends on like what procedure you're getting done, how much lipo you're getting done, where you're getting it sucked out from. So again, everybody's price is probably going to be different. So I would highly recommend getting a consultation with my doctor or whatever doctor you're seeking. That way you get a price quoted for your case. How long did bruising last? Obviously everybody heals differently and at different paces. I feel like my bruises completely went away after 3 to 4 weeks. I was bruised a lot around my arms where I got the lipo done and a lot on my stomach. Well, actually everywhere. It was kind of bad. But the tenderness and the soreness, that is a whole nother story. That lasted me like at least 6 to 7 months. And I still feel it till this day, here and there. It just kind of depends. It's such a weird feeling too, because you feel numbness, but you feel pain. It's like the first outer layer of your skin is like numb, but then the pain goes really deep. And if you have gotten liposuction before, then I'm assuming that you can relate to this. Honestly, it was so painful. Like to sleep, or if like I stretched a certain way, if I moved a certain way, or if someone poked me, like it hurt a lot. But obviously pain is always temporary. I mean, it was kind of a long temporary. It was so many months, but it's starting to go away. I do feel some tenderness sometimes and a little pain here and there, but for the most part, it's nothing too crazy. Did you and how did you have sex during recovery? I would say that is a very valid question. And honestly, I think it was like 4 weeks until I finally got it in. And even then I was very skeptical because I was still in a lot of pain, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Y'all are me AF with all the freaky questions. Did it change or improve your self-esteem? Honestly, if you know me in person, you know that I am very, very insecure, and it may not look like it on my Instagram because obviously I only post resting bitch face or whatever. You guys would be surprised, but it takes a lot for me to even decide on a photo. If I even decide, sometimes there's days where I do makeup and I feel confident and I take pictures, but I hate all the photos, and that happens to everybody. But when it comes down to it, I'm just so insecure and I wish I had better self-esteem. So I feel like that is ultimately the deciding factor on why I got a breast augmentation, why I got my BBL. But at the end of the day, yes, it did give me a lot more confidence and comfortability in my own skin. But at the same time, I feel like no surgery is ever going to make you feel complete if you have those issues within yourself. Like that has to be something that you have to change from within and in your mind. And that's just something that I struggle with. I'm not saying that it won't change, but it's just something that I've struggled with since, I don't know, the day I was born, pretty much. It's not like I'm telling you guys to go out and get surgery to feel better about yourself. No, not at all. But if that's something you want to do, then don't let anyone stop you, because at the end of the day, like there's so many people that disagree with surgeries or things that I do. There's people that disagree with wearing makeup, you know? So you just have to do what you want and what you know is going to be good for you, honey. Rate the pain. Again, this is going to be different for everybody. I would say some days I had a pain level of 10 in the beginning. And then obviously it decreased as I got better and recovered. This next question I feel like is such an important question because family plays such a big role in everybody's life. Somebody asked, did your family accept you with your BBL? And honestly, as far as my brother and my sister goes, they're very supportive in anything that I do pretty much. I'm sure it was like kind of weird at first and it was really hard for me to tell them because I was just like, I don't want them to be disappointed in me. But at the same time, they know it's something that I want to do for myself and it's gonna make me happy. So they're gonna love me no matter what. But my parents, on the other hand, I don't even really think that they knew what a BBL is. And I told my mom and she really didn't say much to it. So she wasn't mad about it, but I'm sure it's not something that she would encourage me to do if I were to ask her prior to it. I literally did not tell anybody. I just went and got the surgery without anybody knowing. Obviously, like my husband knew and my closest friends knew, but for the most part, no one knew. And I just went under the radar, got it done, came back, kept it a secret for like a good solid month, I think, before I announced it. And even some friends like that are close that I typically would tell, I didn't tell. And they found out with everybody else during my announcement. So that was kind of crazy, but it was just something that I felt like I wanted to do personally. And I just didn't want anybody to change my mind because I knew that it was something I wanted. And that's all that matters, because at the end of the day, no matter what you guys say or what anyone says, I did it for myself. Did you gain weight for your BBL? Okay, so growing up, I've always been very skinny and petite. My dad literally nicknamed me Skinny Bone Jones pretty much majority of my childhood. And the older I got, I did gain weight. I did have some extra here and there. So I obviously got that taken out and transferred, but I didn't specifically try to gain weight because I feel like I eat like shit anyway. And I don't really gain weight like crazy, but I was gaining some. So I do feel like I did have a little extra for my surgery, which was in my favor. Okay, sorry, I had to tie up my hair because it'd be hot AF in here. But anyway, back to the questions. What was the worst part of your recovery? Honestly, I already answered this in my last video, but I stand by it 100%. By far, the worst part of my recovery was not being able to sit. I am a tough bitch. Like, tattoos hurt so bad, especially my back. Like, unbelievable pain, and surgery hurts. It sucks, but I feel like I manage pain pretty well for the most part. So that was not the worst part. The worst part is going crazy from not being able to sit, and that sucked. But the longer you do it, the better results you get. So I'm just telling you, if you get surgery, and even if your doctor says don't sit for 2 weeks, don't sit for 2 months. And if you can be like me and don't sit for 4 months, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I would like to say that your results will be that much better. Did you have to diet after getting your BBL? Honestly, whatever you put in your body is going to affect how you recover. So if you're gonna eat healthy, obviously you'll have a better and faster recovery. I feel like I did pretty well by eating better, but it was never perfect. Like, I could never stick to something that's like perfection, you know? And that's fine, but as long as you're doing your best on eating healthier and drinking a lot of water, because obviously drinking water is the best thing you can do whenever you are sick or you're recovering. And I did that, and I'm pretty sure it helped. This is a funny question, but I feel like it's completely relevant because there's so many people asking if it jiggles like a natural butt. And the answer is 100%. It's all my fat. So of course it's gonna feel completely natural, completely real, and she be jiggling. I don't know how to twerk. Getting a BBL doesn't make you twerk any better if you didn't know how to twerk before, because that is one thing that I cannot do to save my life. Like, I just don't have rhythm. What was more painful, a BBL or a boob job? Both have their different struggles, but I guess in my personal experience, when it comes down to each surgery, my boob job I experience way more pain. And if you guys want to know more in depth about that, watch my first video because I explained the difference with my recovery. Someone asked, can it pop? No, it cannot pop because it's literally my fat just transferred in my butt. But I always make jokes. Every time someone slaps my ass too hard or like bumps into me, I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna pop my BBL. It's just funny to say, but no, it cannot pop because it's just fat. Would you do the whole process all over again? I wouldn't willingly want to, but you never want to put yourself in a surgery if you don't have to, and you don't want to feel pain if you don't have to. But if you want the results, you gotta just suck it up and do it. So the answer is yes, because I do want to do round 2, but mostly just to perfect and not necessarily to change, if that makes sense. What does your husband think of your BBL? My husband loves me no matter what. He didn't want me to do it because he never wants me to put myself in danger, obviously, but obviously he's gonna love it. Like, how nervous were you the morning of? You're gonna have to watch my last video because I was scared to death. And I don't know if you can really see my nerves when I'm filming and talking because I had to like pull myself together, but I was scared to freaking death. Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I had no idea what to expect. Is going to TJ as dangerous as they say? Honestly, getting a BBL in general is dangerous. So no matter where you could go, you could literally die in Beverly Hills. Like, Kanye's mom died and she was in the middle of surgery, and I don't know the details of that, but I'm sure she got one of the best surgeons, and you just never know. Like, you can end up with complications anywhere in that world with any doctor. Obviously, it is a little more scarier going to Mexico and getting it done in TJ, but at the same time, if you have a board certified surgeon and you know that, you know, he's had many successful surgeries, then that should give you a boost of confidence in your doctor. And obviously, I didn't just go to him. Like, I had lots and lots of referrals, but I also seen physical results, and I felt very, very, very confident and comfortable talking to him during my consultations, and I don't regret one bit of it at all. I would 100% go with him again, and I will. When I have enough fat to transfer, I will. I don't know when. I don't know how long it's gonna be until I, you know, decide to get the second round, but I will one day. I'm seeing a lot of questions on who my surgeon is and where I got my surgery done. Of course, if you have not seen my first video, go check it out. But I did go to TJ in Mexico, and my surgeon is Dr. Campos. I literally love him so much. He is so freaking sweet. And at the end of the day, I just love the results he gave me. And he was very nurturing and just very accommodating to me. And like, what more would you want in your doctor? There are so many freaking questions, but I feel like I answered the most frequently asked questions, and I will be sure to link my doctor and my surgery center down below. That way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to them and set up your consultation. A lot of you guys are asking how my scars healed, so let's just go ahead and show them to you, because why not? This is my lipo scar from my arm, which is like pretty much gone. And this is the other side, which honestly, you can't even see at all. I obviously got so much more ink since y'all last saw this view, but the scar here is, I think, covered up by ink now. And then the one down here, right above my butt, I'm not even gonna show you that, but that one's pretty healed too. We have this one and then this one on the left side of my hip. They're pretty faded, so I'm really happy with that. And obviously if I have a bikini on, they're noticeable if you look, but a lot of people think that they are dermal piercing scars, like if they do notice it. So I'm cool with that. It's like whatever floats your boat. So to answer the question of it all, the title of my video, do I regret my BBL in Mexico? And obviously, if you watch the video from beginning to end, you know that I do not regret 1% of it. Okay, the driving, yeah, it kind of sucked. It's not that far, but just throwing up on the whole way home and being car sick. If you watch my last video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. That part, yes, I regret that part. That part sucked. But would I do it again? 100%. in a heartbeat with my doctor. So again, shout out to Dr. Campos because he is a freaking like magician. I really hope I was able to help some of you guys out with answering these questions. I know there are hundreds more, but I feel like that was a good amount of most frequently asked questions. And of course, if you guys have any other things that you want to know about that I wasn't able to answer in this video, go ahead and leave them in the comments so I can do my best to get back to you guys. And yeah, if you are looking into getting this surgery for yourself, just know that you can never do too much research, and just be 100% about your decision, and don't let anybody change your mind or tell you what you can and can't do, because it's your body and your money, I'm assuming. And if it's not your money, even better, spend it. I guess that concludes this video. I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this, and I hope I was able to help you in one way or the other. I know this is a very big surgery and a big decision to make if this is something that you are looking to do now or in the near future. And I just want to send all of my well wishes to you and wish you the best of luck. Don't forget, at the end of the day, this is your body and your decision. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave and hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload next. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. This is as much as I can do, is like propping up my leg and just letting it jiggle, but proof that she real.